Other interesting cultural news, you have California passing Proposition 36 might actually crack down on crime. A first in many years in California. Never forget, one of the most important things that's true is you get what you vote for. Well, years ago, people in California said, we're going to vote for Proposition 47 because of compassion, or so they argue. Well, that made it so that if you steal up to $950 worth of merchandise, it is no longer a felony, it is merely a misdemeanor. And the way in which the public justice system usually works is a volume business. Well, usually they don't want you to go to court, they want you to plea. Incentive to plea is to plead the charges down. So instead of starting from a felony and going down to plead to a misdemeanor, well, now starting a misdemeanor and going to sometimes nothing or nothing at all at the district attorneys, which may or not be propped up by someone who's historically in investing. Well, those folks, well, they just decide not to bring any charges altogether. So that's my concern is, well, they passed this prop, but I mean, will anything actually be prosecuted? That's another thing in it of itself. Now, they should give local law enforcement all the, the ammunition to take to the district attorneys for these things to, ideally, be prosecuted, but we'll see. Now, going to the good old Grok for this news. Pull it up really quick here. Now, they say, quote, and I asked them, what is California Prop 36? They say, quote, Proposition 36, also known as the Homeless, Drug Addiction, and Theft Reduction Act, was a ballot measure passed by voters in November 2024, and here are the key points. They say the purpose and provisions, Prop 36 aims to increase the penalties for certain theft and drug crimes, reversing some aspects of the Prop 47 for 2014, which reduced many to misdemeanors. It also would reclassify some misdemeanors as felonies, good, particularly for repeat offenders and theft and drug possession. It also introduces a category called treatment mandated felony, in which individuals could opt for drug treatment instead of prison for certain offenses, but failure to complete treatment would lead to imprisonment. It's kind of an interesting, good idea, I think. Actually, I'm having a little bit of trouble reading on that screen, so bear with me for a second. Appreciate your patience as it pulled up on this monitor here, or laptop. Second part is support and opposition, in which they say, fiscal impact, they say, I'll get into different results there. Oh, no, it is. Fiscal impact, they say the measure would increase the state criminal justice costs due to a higher prison population and increase the court cost. However, it would reduce funding that was previously allocated under Prop 47. Now, they say Prop 36 had a lot of opposition from Democrats, but fascinating enough, if you look at districts and you look at the counties, California is now mostly red, which I think is partially because of Trump's popularity and also the ineptitudes of leftists in California. Now, going to actually folks on the streets handling this, got this coming from End Wokeness, says, quote, a new era in California. Now that Prop 36 passed, police have started to arrest and jail all the shoplifters regardless of how much they stole, which, thank God. Now, the issue is, again, they're arresting them. Will they be prosecuted? That is my concern, because there are a lot of leftist judges and district attorneys out there who might just say, we're not going to take up this case. Even though the people clearly want these things to be prosecuted, will this plan actually be fulfilled in execution? That's my concern. I think, culturally speaking, it's great that they are pushing for law and order. It's a rare thing in California.
Operation Ugly Sweater.
The sweater stolen?
Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies in the organized retail theft unit are undercover this week.
We're watching two businesses
searching for shoplifters showing up in stores alongside paying shoppers buying gifts for the holidays.
After the passage of Prop 36, we now have the ability with two previous convictions, even if they're misdemeanor convictions, to be able to charge someone with a felony regardless of the dollar amount.
And this gentleman speaking right there is Andy Carter, who's a Sacramento co-sheriff office.
The dollar amount.
Before Prop 36 went into place Wednesday, suspects arrested for stealing merchandise under $950 only faced a misdemeanor. And it didn't matter how many previous tickets they had.
How dumb are these people in California, these thieves? So someone actually stole I'm sorry, this is just so stupid I had to stop the video. Someone stole jeans from a store, and all the tags are still on the jeans. So the size tag, as well as the tag of the manufacturer additional information, are still on the jeans. Which, Jeez Louise.
Didn't matter how many previous tickets they had, they didn't spend any time in jail and could keep on shoplifting.
Suspects are very open about the fact that they know that theft in the state of California under $950 is a misdemeanor. They have no problem telling us, well, I didn't steal a felony amount. This is day 2 of Prop 36 going into effect.
Now, as deputies prepare for another day of stopping retail theft,
some of them are starting to pick up on the fact that Prop 36 means they're actually going to physically go to jail, so they may try and run a little bit harder.
they have more ammunition to keep repeat offenders out of stores.
Definitely our officers are feeling more empowered. We're feeling like, we're not just, racking up another citation. Our officers feel like what they're doing matters and that they want to do the extra legwork to make sure that we get a good conviction.
Have you been arrested for theft before?
Please let me get a citation. Yes, I have. Please.
How many times?
A few times.
Because she's eligible for Prop 36 if they wanted to take her.
Instead of being released with just a ticket, more shoplifters are now headed off to jail. Operation.
And it is fascinating to see the exponential increase in theft in the United States compared to other countries. Let's just say in Saudi Arabia, there's no such thing as a repeat offender. Same with Dubai. Let's just say, instead of being caught red-handed, the second time they did it, they'd be caught with one hand because they wouldn't have the other. Now, of course, in the United States, we don't allow criminal and unusual punishment. That's why people in prison are not forced to watch The View. But this is a good step in the right direction. Now, a lot of people wonder, how big of an issue is retail theft? Well, pretty damn big, and it costs you and I a pretty penny when we do shop. So this is statistics according to Grok, the AI from X and Twitter, well, same thing. They say, quote, total retail theft, wow, retailers reported losses accounting to more than, not millions, 121 billion due to shoplifting incidents in 2024, which represents a 93% increase compared to before the pandemic. Jeez Louise. Now, I also saw specifically a 24% increase in shoplifting in the United States compared to year over year. Now, again, in terms of retail theft, some of it is shrinkage with employee theft, some of it is organized crime, and some of it is individual actors going to the stores and taking things off the shelf. But yeah, one of the reasons our products cost more and more is not just inflation. Yes, government robs us thanks to the ineptitude and corruption, I would argue, of Republicans and Democrats, but it's also because people are stealing and these companies have to, put that cost somewhere. And unfortunately, it's the law-abiding people who suffer. Now, thankfully, this went pretty viral. Got 2.6 million views and 95,000 likes. One of the first comments comes from Paul Zazupa saying, quote, didn't think I'd ever see this in California, getting 743 likes, which, again, neither did I. I'm really impressed. If you watch the show, I critique California a lot. I really hope it does improve. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. That's also prior to San Francisco having copious amounts of, human death kits everywhere. But again, it is a beautiful place to visit. Well, I guess nowadays you need an army or bodyguards with you. But in all seriousness, if it wasn't for the cultural decay and the overregulation of business, pushing businesses and people away, it'd be a great place. And I hope, call me crazy, but someday I hope the culture shifts so much in California, it somehow becomes, livable for the folks who aren't Mark Zuckerberg, who can afford their own entourage of, millions of dollars of private security contractors. Now, I'm not sure how many years it'll take for that to happen or if they ever will truly change, but this is a great step in the right direction, culturally speaking. You also have Cash Loren saying, quote, but will the district attorneys prosecute, getting 419 likes, which, again, that is my concern. Again, we've seen similar instances where sometimes they'll pass the same law in Chicago. It's rare, but believe it or not, has happened from time to time. But then they choose not to enforce the law or they choose not to prosecute it. That's another interesting thing, culturally speaking. These people are voting for these judges. Some other people are getting them elected sometimes, but will they actually do their job? Will the district attorneys ever do that? Again, a lot of them are radical leftists. Not all, but again, that's another variable that needs to be taken into account. You also have Based Electrician saying, quote, I'm hoping we were able to fix this country, and it looks like this period as just an embarrassing moment of, what is this? I was hoping we were able to fix this country and look back at this period as just an embarrassment moment. Again, click that subscribe button. It may very well help with my speaking ineptitudes. I first started the show, basically no subscribers, all maybe family, and my speaking was terrible. I spoke even faster than I do now, and truth be told, stumbled over my words worse than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs. However, as I slowly but surely gain subscribers, I've been speaking a little bit better. Yes, I do need to slow down, absolutely 110% agree, but every time I get a subscriber, I get a little bit better. Some might argue just a modicum of a little bit of improvement, but an improvement, statistically speaking, nevertheless. So you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it, and someday I'll get through the whole episode of speaking perfect. Someday. Now, Other top comments comes from Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, lock the stealing MFers up, getting 1.2 thousand likes. Yep, that'd be a good idea. You have Python the Oracle with a famous quote from Thomas Sowell, who says, quote, have we reached the ultimate stage of absurdity where some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, while other people are not held responsible for things they do themselves today? Getting 319 likes. The only downside is his glasses are not the sunglasses that you see, the pixelated based glasses. They're merely his regular reading glasses. So I'll give it a like because it is, as youth might say, based. You also have Liberty Pill Memes says, no, finally no more of this. And there's it's got to be photoshopped, but there's a street sign that says, notice, stolen goods must remain under $950. Getting 635 likes, which, yep. I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, the criminals knew it, and it radically incentivized their behavior to steal even more. You did have some funny and brilliant entrepreneurs in California, like one restaurant owner. He had an issue with people stealing knives and, utensils. So he set up a gift shop at the store, and he would have the gift shop so that you can buy the silverware there for $951. So technically, if you stole one of those utensils, that's a $950, $51 knife. Now, again, that's brilliant because they should get in trouble, but with the district attorney actually prosecuted. That's a concerning thing. Scrolling down more and more, you have Mark, who blocks simps, says, quote, proposed border wall. It's, U.S. and Mexico. And he says, ideal border wall. And it's blocking off Mexico and California, which some Californians said they're going to build a wall. It got 543 likes. Brian Cowell says, quote, well, Gavin Newsom has been the worst governor in 100 years. California enforced more laws in the 1850s than they do now, and he's driving thousands of retail businesses to close their doors, mostly in poor communist, almost like an intentional, getting 133 likes, which, yeah, the business laws are so bad over there. There's so much bureaucracy. There's so much taxes. Even traditional technology companies have left California, and they are they have the major ones. Of course, they still have the headquarters of Google, the Facebook. They've got, what else they got there? The Google, the Facebook. Well, Instagram's the same thing these days. Netflix. What else? They got all the big ones there for the most part. But like the traditional cybersecurity companies and, manufacturers like, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, CrowdStrike, Oracle. Again, places that built that state, they're left their headquarters. They still have some operations there, but again, there's huge tax implications for headquarters. And that's, again, executives moving out of the state. And they're having less and less of people there. And Gavin Newsom is so bad. He drove out so many people. U-Haul ran out of trucks. First in their business history, because so many people are leaving California and no one's going there. I mean, no one needs a U-Haul to go there because no one goes there. 3 people do. I'm kidding. It's not, no one. But I mean, let me know one business that has moved to California in the past 48 months. I can name several, over 400 that have left in the past couple years. They're leaving in droves. And spoiler alert, they're going to red states that are very much business friendly, have low regulation and low taxes. Two of the most famous ones that California alienated so much with regulation and taxation were Toyota of North America, as well as Tesla. And now SpaceX. And now X Twitter. Again, I don't know who keeps voting for Gavin Newsom. It's not good for business, not good for culture. But I partially digress. Let's see, is there any contrarian statements? I mean, thus far, no, but let's read 2 or 3 comments here. Scrolling down more and more. Hypothesis says, quote, the Trump effect is Trump standing in water. It says nothing can stop what's coming. It looks like a storm. Getting 80 likes. Let's see. But yeah, not too many contrarian statements. Liberty Pill Meme says, it's about time for some common sense. It says, let's lock up the thieves instead of jeans. There's a picture of the jeans that are locked up, getting 1.1 thousand likes. That's how bad California and San Francisco had become. The most comical, I guess, dark humor thing would be when CNN, which actually had good news for once, as a rare thing, should be probably mark that in history books. There's an interview, and I believe it's CNN at a CVS in San Francisco, where they talk about retail theft. And during the interview, someone came in the store with a garbage bag and a ski mask, and literally just took probably hundreds of dollars of products off the shelf into the garbage bag and walked out. No one stopped them. It's gotten so bad, they lock up even cereal and every frozen food. They have chains over the doors. They lock the cereal up, they lock the cologne up, they lock the booze up, they lock jeans and toothpaste up. I'm pretty sure they don't have to worry about locking the Bibles or workbooks, but, well, I don't know if they have those in California. Only kidding a little bit there. But their culture has decayed so much in California, they had to lock up cereal, jeans, and pretty much everything. That's how bad it's got. Now, again, a lot of people say, what's the famous quote from the Batman? The dawn is always darkest before the dusk, or something to that effect. And again, it's hard to think if California could possibly get any worse. Maybe it bottomed out in terms of cultural decay and chaos. So that maybe this is them starting to go in the right direction. I hope so. Again, it has beautiful nature over there. It's a great place to visit, and I don't know if it'll be a great place to move a business or start a business because of the regulation. Hopefully, maybe they change that in the future, but I'm pretty skeptical. But from a cultural perspective and like from the average consumer shopping and safety perspective, I think this is a great move in the right direction, and I hope the district attorneys will actually prosecute it. But let me know, do you think the district attorneys will actually prosecute it that now that these are being treated as more crimes? Let me know. And then would you ever move to California and live there or start a business there? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, if you give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment, it's a great way to give me a little bit of additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.